Good morning, everyone. How is everyone this fine Friday, Monday morning? Boy, I can't even get my day straight. Oh, well, let's see here. Oh, boy, we've got a little issue here with the, oh, there we go. Okay, now we're cooking. Interesting. TikTok is making some challenges for us today. We are trying a new system this morning. So if we have some technical issues, we will do our best to get them straightened out. But we're doing something where each one of us is going live on their own channel and then joining in together. So as I said, if it looks funky or doesn't work properly, just hang in there because it will work eventually, I believe. Oh, good morning, Alex.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Can hear you fine.
I'm good.
I'm good. So when I went into the co-host thing and brought you up or connected us, I didn't see Dave or James in there.
Well, they're not. You have to. There's a little circle that says refresh. Keep refreshing. There's Dave. I've got his invite.
Oh, so you can do it. You can send it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't see James yet.
Well, he may be having some issues because he's fairly new to the whole live streaming thing.
Understood.
So we'll have to see how it plays out. But it looks like we got. Is that Dave?
Morning, guys.
Hey, good morning, Dave. It's working.
There is James.
I got Venezuela's their new national bird.
You got to bring it down a little bit so people can see the top.
I do.
Okay. Morning, James.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. So did you have any trouble connecting or any of that?
No, just a little tardy is all. Sorry, I was trying to figure out my green screen.
Oh, that's okay.
No worries.
Just
Typical
grateful that
shit.
you made it in. All right. Well, let's see here. We've got, okay, that's set up over there. Well, let's say some good mornings.
Good morning.
And so everybody, before we even get started, because we're doing it this way, each person in each person's channel will not be able to access the other chats. So it has to be the chat, whatever room you're in, whatever live you're on, that's the chat that you're going to see. They don't cross over. And as I said, we're just going to experiment with this for a few days and see how it goes. So far, so anyway, just so you know, if you put a message in Alex's chat, I won't see it, or Dave or Al or James or any of those, just so you're aware of what's going on. All right, let's say some good mornings. Benji 1959 is here. Good morning, Ben. Sherry is here from East Tennessee. Happy Monday to you as well. See how it goes. Diane, so far. We got, what was that? Did you guys hear that?
You're good.
Okay. Diana Lynn is here. Good morning, Diana Lynn. Hitesh Hits is here. Good morning, Hits. Pure Blood Holly Johns, Kevin Kiesler, Tracy Fagan, King's Girl 1974, I Speak 1717 said, can all of you see our chats? No. We can only see the chat of the room that you're in. So I Speak, you're in my chat. I can see everything. But Alex or James or Dave cannot see that. Pure Blood Holly Johns, Dana Mackey is here. Tracy Fagan. Okay, there we go. So that's working there. Richard Pacente is here over on YouTube. And Michelle, the stay-at-home mom, is here as well on YouTube. Good morning, Michelle. Glad you could make it. Charlie's here. Good morning, Charlie. Let's see who else. Allie Mae, John Gwynn. Big John is here. Good morning, John. Towie.
You're in the wrong box, Allie.
What's up?
I said you're in the wrong box, Allie.
No, she wants to be with the hip crowd, Alex, is what it is. Towie Bixby's here. Good morning, Towie. Kathleen Garcia. Oh, my goodness. Rick Sr.'s here. Diva53. Top Crop TV. Seth is here. Good morning, Seth. Angela Akers is here. Oh, my goodness. Sky Dancer as well. And as we've been saying for the last few days, everyone, the heart me's make a big difference in terms of the algorithm with TikTok. And as you know, we need to hit 10,000 likes before 10 minutes is up. So it helps the algorithm. We're learning all this with you. So hang in there. But that's kind of the deal right now. PJ Party is here.
To
Good
be
morning.
clear, that's 10,000 likes on Sam's box. So
Right,
be in
exactly.
Sam's live.
Exactly. PJ Party Peggy's here. Oh, she's got it down. She knows what's going on. Oh, Dave, man, Dave's got two different ones going. I see Mega Farms in my chat.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't either.
Oh, there we go. Now there's going to be prepared, everybody. Dave might be pulling one on us. Let's see. Mama Bear's here. Good morning, Mama Bear. She said, happy 2026, Sam and fam. Same to you, Mama Bear. CG is here. Lace and Steel just popped in. Good morning, everyone. All right. So, wow, we hit the 10,000 already. You guys are awesome. Incredible. Just incredible. All right. Let's see. Hey, Earl Shannon's here. Earl Shannon said, good morning, Freedom for Patriots, FOUR. From Flat Earth, Wolf Lake, Minnesota. Of course, Earl, stirring the pot already. Oh, gosh. Lars 916 said, does anybody know C. Kyle? I don't know what that is. Bob S. is here. Good morning, Bob S. over on YouTube. Genmon64 said, my picture's distorted on X. I don't know. What do you mean, Genmon? I'm not sure what's happening over there. Alex, maybe
So it's the same. It's the same as YouTube because we're we're mirroring TikTok to the other platforms. You know how it kind of cuts off the sides, so that's why it's distorted. We're working on the production value, but
now let me. I'm going to try something here on Restream. I just hit a different feed on Restream. Okay, that doesn't work. How about like this? How does that look on? That way we get everybody in there. What do you guys think over on the other platforms? I'm trying different layouts to see which ones work the best. So now maybe this one. How about that, you guys? What does that look like to you, Alex, over there? At least we can see everybody, right?
Yeah, you have the box underneath. So yeah, you can see everybody. I mean, that'd be all right if you want to roll with that.
Yeah, let's try that today just to see what happens. All right, let's see. And who was it? Gen Mom, see if that distorts or fixed the pictures. Fixed it. Had to refresh. Okay, cool. David Barals is here over on YouTube. Good morning, David. All right, let's see here. Queen 15 is here. Wildlife fan. Charlie, I already said good morning. Charlie and Nut. Christy B78. Holy smokes, everybody's piling in. Love it, everyone. Love it. Okay, so, all right, let's go to, oh, wait a minute. That seems to be working. All right, Alex, what about some indices this morning, sir?
Good morning, everybody. January 5th. What a weekend, huh? Looking at the S&P 500, it's up 58 points to 6,917. The Dow is up 750 points to 49,132. NASDAQ is up 200 points to 23,435. I think the markets are reacting to recent activities in other countries that bring certain commodities back underneath our purview. So looking at commodities, crude oil is up 81 cents a barrel at 58.13. Gold is up $133 to $4,462.70. Meanwhile, silver up $6 to $77.04. So everything on the up and up. Everything, when I say everything, crypto markets looking at Bitcoin up 2.6% to 93,652. XRP up 4.7. Settle down, James. We're a long way from the $2.19. Ethereum up
heading in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Ethereum up 1.3% at 3,179. Stellar Lumen XLM up 0.6 at 24 cents. Cardano up 2% at 41 cents.
Wow, did you see that whale? Thank you, Seth, from Top Crop TV.
No, we didn't get to see it because we were in our own box.
Oh, you can't
I
see
seen
it.
it.
You can't see my screen.
I seen it.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's right,
Oh,
Dave. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just getting used to this whole thing, you guys. It's really a different deal. Top Crop TV, Seth is just lighting us up today. Thank you, Seth. Let's see here. Mama Bear said, stay in the family, right? Yeah, well, we are a family here. D said, Sam's pushing buttons again. Boy, isn't that the truth, D? Isn't that the truth? Um, Hometown Girl 38 is here. Beaver from Colorado Springs is here. John Gwynn said we just passed 17,000. That was a while ago, John. Well, I'm probably just getting up on the. Oh my gosh, what is that thing? That is cool. Geez, Seth is just turning it up for us. Kelly Thurman 2 is here. Good morning, Kelly. Debbie from the UK is here.
He's loading up your gift gallery. That helps the rhythm and all that stuff. So anybody can help him out. That would be good too on yours.
Oh, Trump train! John Gwynn with the first Trump train. I love it. Jan Lovin being grandma is here as well. Pureblood Holly John said, not tired of winning. Neither am I, Holly. Neither am I. Tim Shaw 707 and Joni Singleton 8 just showed up. And yes, Mama Bear, I see the squirrels in the chat. Brian is here. Good morning, Brian. Dave, what do we have for a farming and agriculture report?
We can do that. I was just getting trying to figure out my ways, figuring out how things work here. Even the corn and cattle markets are looking good. Corn is up 4 to 5 cents. Soybeans up 12 to 16. Wheat is up 2 to 5. Cattle is up 0.5%, and hogs are up a little over 2.5%. The USDA Secretary Rollins is going to be working with the USDA and tweaking it. The top 5 things: increasing profitability, which is a positive; expanding markets, creating new ones; protecting the integrity of the American agriculture; promoting soil health to regen long-term productivity of the land; and improving human health through nutrition and food quality. So we're heading in the right direction. Everything I'm seeing, President Trump is out kicking tires and lighting the fires on everything on this Monday morning.
Isn't that the truth? Boy, isn't that the truth. Melissa Flinner's here. Good morning, Melissa. The beach chair farmer, David, is here. Well, look who's here. Brian Dellett is here. Brian.Dellett1. Everybody, please go over and follow Brian Dellett. It's Brian.Dellett.1. He's a veteran who's working for the well-being of the veterans. We need to get him up to 250 followers because he wants to come on the show, and he's going to come on. Oh, look at that from the beach chair farmer. But he's going to come on the show, but we got to get him up to 250. So it's Brian.Dellett.1. He's in the chat right now. Let's see. CG, thank you for all of the gifts. And Melissa Flinner just leveled up. Look out. And there she is, the star of the show. Lisa Maria is here. Oh, Charlie, that was cool. I hadn't seen that before. Kelly Thurman said, I'm listening from my salon today, slaying the day. That's what I like to hear. Get after it, girl. Let's see. Robert Bakarsky's over here on, what are you on, Robert? You're on YouTube. Oh, right. And Kathleen Paschke just popped in on Facebook. Good morning, everyone. I speak 1717. Thank you for all the gifts. It's very sweet. All right, James, what do we have from a military standpoint today?
Gosh, Sam, after all that stuff that was in your dispatch, it was difficult for me to pick one. But actually, I'm sure that a lot of the people would like to know some of the particulars of what happened this weekend with the United States capturing Maduro. There he is right there. That was a good one. I like that.
I know, that was a classic.
So at 2:01 in the morning, the United States cut the power to the capital, which is Caracas. We entered Maduro's home, and Maduro tried to enter a steel-fortified safe room, but we didn't let him close the door. The Delta Force actually made the capture with the help of CIA source in Venezuela. 150 aircraft from 20 different bases were used to get the extraction team into the capital. No United States fatalities and a few injuries. Maduro and his wife got an extradition ride, a boat ride on the amphibious assault ship, the USS Iwo Jima. They landed at Stewart Air Force National Guard Base in New York, and then were transported to the Metropolitan Detention Center, which is a federal facility in Brooklyn. We tracked Maduro for 4 months to make this operation happen. We actually tried to get him back in December. We were attempting, building up to it. You remember when we started pushing the forces there? The weather just wouldn't let us do it. It wasn't conducive. We used F-22s, F-35s, FA-18s, B-2s, B-1s, and remotely piloted aircraft, and Osprey. Apaches, Blackhawks, and Chinooks. When the United States goes in to do a mission such as this caliber, we weren't worried about 4.5 million soldiers that were supposedly protecting him. We went around them, we went through them, we went over them, and we said goodbye to quite a few targets before we left.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm not convinced that it happened this weekend, or maybe it was set up. Who knows? But it's an interesting thing. Jess the Mess from Texas here. Good morning, Jess. I'm married to Bob, just showed up. Wendy is here. Good morning, Bob. Wendy. Let's see here. User said, I agree, Sam. Yeah, well, we're going to get into it later in the report, but let's talk a little bit about, so the anti-crypto SEC commissioner, Carolyn Crenshaw, resigned. Isn't it interesting that all of a sudden now we've got crypto going up? Alex, what do you think?
The song pops into my head. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Look, we just hit January 1 and big beautiful bill kicking off. Genius bill coming. The crypto frenzy, I think, in 2026. Especially by mid-year, the train is loaded, it's fueled, the engines are locked and loaded, and the old steam trains where the wheel kind of starts spinning in place. It's about to go. I really believe that.
Yeah, I think you're right, James.
Ooh, this is big news for crypto, as this leaves an all-Republican commission. It alters the commission's internal calculus and external signaling. With this critic absent or gone, this market will forthcomingly read a different tone. The supply of friction is gone. It's going to lead to faster decisions and looser evidentiary demands.
Dave?
It looks like she was scheduled to leave eventually, after 18 months after her appointed time. She could stay, but exit stage left as the heat's starting to turn up on the critics of crypto.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Hitesh Hits is over on X. He said, Sam, it's working great on X. Hits, what do you think about the new layout on X? Does it look better than it did before? Just let me know what you think in the comments. All right, so according to the Gateway Pundit, California defied the federal deadline concerning the revocation of commercial licenses for immigrant truck drivers. And it just so happens to be that it's 17,000 licenses. Dave, what do you make of that?
Well, it's coming. They need to get in order. And if they step out of line, this administration will take care of it. Obviously, it's a necessity. They asked for an extension for 60 days, but we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah. James?
Oh, my topic.
Buckle up. I know. Uh-huh.
My topic. So Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said if they fail to meet the January 5th deadline, they will lose $160 million in federal funding. I just love that. There will be no extension, Dave, by the way. So far, they've already had $40 million withheld because of lack of enforcement to English proficiency. There is no extension. Immigrants equal about 20% of all CDL holders. I think that number is kind of skewed. I think it probably should be closer to 25 to 28%. California, Pennsylvania, and Minnesota also following this same type of thing. They're trying to vow for legislation or some sort of stay by a judge so they don't have to implement it. But the solution to this problem is very simple. If California wants to continue running the turbine Suburbans and put them outside the state of California.
Get that one written down. Turbine Suburban. Jamesism, sorry. Turbine Suburban.
So if they want to continue to operate and try to deliver California's product nationwide, it's very simple. FMCSA is going to set up right outside the state, whether it be in Nevada, Arizona, they're going to get them. And Arizona has a lax schedule too, but New Mexico not so much. So in my travel across the country, close as Arizona, I see the turbine Suburbans, but not so much anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Johnny B, thank you for all the gifts. Donna Fox, Lason's Heel, sassy
James?
Minnesota girl.
What are you seeing different wise? What are you seeing? Can you tell these guys what you're seeing different on the roads and per pay and what's happening?
Yeah, the escalation of the rates for dry van and reefer, that's predominantly what they run. Pretty much all the illegals, except for when you get to the southern states, they like to run hoppers, which I've been, running myself. But we don't see lines. We don't see guys parking their truck in a fuel line, going in and taking a shower where the rest of the line's waiting behind them. I've seen drivers that do that get their airlines cut, tires stabbed. I mean, there is an internal war going on in the trucking industry, and it's kind of crazy to see. But we're seeing less and less accidents. Obviously, the thing that happened in Florida with that guy doing the U-turn on the turnpike, that was the catalyst that started all this, or at least that's what they point to. But we're looking at obviously less traffic, which is nicer for me and everybody else that's out there, but it's a safer environment as a whole, and that's what's imperative.
Yeah, exactly. Mary Louise Brown, thank you for the level up ship. Towie Bixby, all the gifts, everybody just lighting us up today. Thank you. Dobermom 79's here. Hey, Dobermom. Digger's here from Canada, and Chrissy, welcome in. I Speak 1717 said, all buttercups better buckle up. Amen. So much happening going on. Mr. JT said, so much wasted potential in California. Well, and Benji 1959 said California's losing businesses left and right. That's very true. I'm here in Los Angeles, California, but I'm telling you, there is a plan here. They're highlighting. Ooh, look at that from Charlie. They are highlighting what the fraud is here in California, and the hammer. I think the hammer's already dropped. We just haven't seen it yet. But if it hasn't, it's going to be dropping soon, in my opinion. We'll have to see. Magic, thank you for the gifts. All right. Well, let's see. Alex, did you want to comment on those drivers?
There's really not much to say. I think that you're seeing it play out in multiple states that resistance is futile.
It truly
coming.
is. It is. David Morales said, Tampon Tim is out of the race, just flashed on the screen. Yes, he did actually drop out. We're going to talk about that later. But yes, you're absolutely right, David. All right, well, let's move on. So it was really interesting. Jeff Tucker over on X made a post, and he said that the FBI can, in fact, arrest state governors for misuse of federal funds. Elon Musk replied to that and said, absolutely. Are we going to see a perp walk of some governor here in the near future, James?
I hope so. I mean, that's what I think pretty much the red state of Minnesota is gunning for. They're sick of this shit too. It's not just misuse of federal funds, Sam. It's corruption, bribery, and other violations. So if you go look at the daycare centers and the amount of time, and we talked about this last week, the Governor Walz isn't just the only one at the executive level. There's others that top that branch too, and they're all going to fall if they haven't already. But based on what we're seeing now, and we have young men that go out and do the investigative reporting. If you look at Dave's Leering Center that we already talked about before, that sign is no longer there, Dave. It's gone.
Yeah, exactly. Angela, thank you for the galaxy. Dave?
They've leered. They've got all their leering done.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I mean, and I was telling James today, does it make any sense that Tim Walz would drop out right now unless he's got an arm twist?
Exactly.
I mean, it seems early to me.
Exactly.
It seems early to me.
He's under so much pressure.
4 months down the road.
He's under so much pressure, it's not even funny. Alex, what do you think?
Well, I mean, is it too early? I mean, what we're watching across the board with Doge and reporting and accountability and NGOs, they don't have a choice but to drop out because there's no money to fund their crappy campaigns anymore. Like,
Exactly.
I mean,
Right.
it's over. Game over. Game over. The next 6 months are going to be freaking historic to watch the number of governors, senators, congressmen, judges, like everybody that the money train's gone. Like the spigot has been cut off. So there's no way. What was that, Dave, that you posted something about, $30 million, and where did the $30 million come from? Well, now we know where the $30 million came from, and that money train is dried up. It's game over. We're done.
When
Dunzo.
when Kamala's administration announced Tim Walz as a vice president, they received $36 million. Where did that come from?
Well, their entire money laundering operation is come to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
They don't have any more nefarious money to be able to throw out through USAID or ActBlue or any of the other nefarious websites that they've had for so long now. And it's all coming down.
How do you stop the snake? You cut its head off.
Cut its head off.
And that's exactly what they're doing by taking the money away.
Exactly. Free to be me is here. Good morning, Free. Freddie Dragonfly, happy Monday to you as well. Nutty81 said, all right, boys, Maduro, FAFO, boom. Boy, isn't that the truth? Gosh, isn't that the truth? All right, let's see here. Cindy Hayden 59 said, please come to Kentucky and get the governor there. Yeah, well, it's coming. Believe me, it's coming. 501 Jack said, let's do Hawaii. Exactly. Doug Rice 59 said, please arrest Whitmer. It's coming, I'm telling you. Sassy Minnesota girl said, Tampon Tim was probably given an ultimatum. I would agree 100%. 100%. These people are not going to get away. John Gwynn said, cockroaches run for cover. Boy, isn't that the truth? Gosh, you guys are so on top of this. I just love that. We have a very informed audience. That's just wonderful to see. John Langlois said, happy Tampon Day. Chan Lovin Being Grandma said, Colombia and Mexico next. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. We're going to talk about that here in a minute.
Cuba.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, let's see here. Lisa Maria said, we are badass. Isn't that the truth? Coming from Lisa. All right. So let's get to the big story of the day. So the U.S. launched a large-scale strike on Venezuela and captured President Maduro, right? Now, we all know that. What I find interesting is, well, there's multiple things I find interesting. He is charged with narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices against the United States, and the list goes on. Now, James, you know more about the military and all this, but it seems to me that I don't see anything in there about election interference, which I think is one of the main drivers for Venezuela. What do you make of it, James?
I think that's probably something that's going to come out when they get to court. It's not something that they want to preface. I think they want to more or less not talk about it until we actually get a little closer. I think Dominion's on the receiving end of the firing range, and I don't even know if that's going to be a company going forward. What a lot of people do, and as you just did, and a lot of people throughout the weekend refer to Maduro as a president. He's not a president. He was a dictator, and he was nothing but an illegal kingpin that got caught. A lot of people have asked over the weekend, what do I think about Maduro's wife, Cecilia? Well, the United States didn't just grab her too for no reason. I'm sure that there's going to be more charges, but right now she's charged with weapon and drug offenses. So I think that, what we see happen to her, I know it's not talked about too much. They're probably just going to take everything she's got and let her go. But I don't know that. That's
right.
Just speculation.
And along those same lines, James, the entire Air Force disabled their flight tracking transponders during this raid.
Oh, right? That's a whole nother topic. You can't go into that yet.
Okay, well, Alex, go ahead and make your first comment, because this is going to be a long process here.
So we have to understand the whole Venezuela situation. This is not something that's just happened over the last few years. Going clear back to Hugo Chavez in 1999 through 2013, and then into Maduro, they've nationalized and basically taken over and extorted the United States through taking over ExxonMobil, which pushed them out. ConocoPhillips, Chevron, the Williams companies, which is oil and natural gas in the early 2000s. Halliburton pushed out from 2000 to 2010 with oil field services. What were some of the others? Extrian Holdings, which was an energy service. Cargill, rice mill, pasta plant, and other facilities seized for violating price controls. Kellogg Foods, Koch Brothers, Owens, Illinois, which was a glass container factory. General Motors, which was an automotive assembly plant that was seized among economic disputes. Clorox Chemical Company, Verizon Communications, they overtook 28.5% stake, which essentially, I mean, this is a prime example showing you what a communist regime does. They come in and they accumulate companies, they accumulate industries, the gold reserve, mining assets, nationalize pending arbitration. And this was a conflict that they had with Canada. This is not just, oh, this guy's, slinging stuff he's not supposed to be, and it's coming into the States and all that. We have to look at the history of the country, how we got here. When the democratically elected government was toppled, if you go back to 98, 99, 2000, who was in office then? Like you peeled back the covers on what's going on in Venezuela for a very long time, and the communist ties. You've got China, you've got Russia, who are heavily invested in the gold and silver mining production in Venezuela, the amount of oil in Venezuela, and it all kind of starts to make sense. But the DOJ, like they said, this is a DOJ operation because UFA, you will FO, and it shows the world that, look, peace through strength. We are not occupying that country. If you look at previous administrations in Iran and Iraq, they used the military and went in to take over the entire country operations, right? Like that's not happening
about
here.
How many trillions of dollars?
And how many years and how many lives, right? What we're seeing in the Iraq or the Iran operation, Midnight Hammer, and what we're seeing in Venezuela, it's very precise. Step in, take care of business, and then step back. We're not going to have a military rule and all of the things that we've seen in these other countries. So it's a very unique perspective to believe that we're ousting presidents and we're starting wars. Like, look at the receipts. That's not what's happening.
Yeah, Dana Mackey said we're taking down the deep state. 100% I agree. D said Madeira just told the judge that he is innocent. Interesting. That must have just happened. I Speak 1717 said EO 13848. You hit it on the head, I Speak. Dave?
And one thing we're leaving out, guys, is that we're hearing inklings of what's trickling out of Venezuela, that there may be some senators involved in some corruption through Venezuela.
Yeah.
Now that may be a tinfoiled hat, but I think it's coming down the hole.
Oh yeah.
17 Republicans, Dave, and 23 demos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Brenda said the Brunson case, and that may well figure into all of this. I don't know. But moving on to the next portion of this Venezuela thing, the entire U.S. Air Force disabled virtually all flight tracking transponders during the operation. And then I also heard that the lights went out in Venezuela during this operation. Now, I've seen video where some of the lights were on, but did they just target that, geolocate that particular area and shut it down? That begs the question, if they did, that means that we had the ability to shut the power off in other countries. What does that tell you, Dave?
Either it's done by aircraft or knockout, because it looked like one section that he was involved. So then that valley that they were flying through, out towards the water, looked okay, but towards where the presidential palace was knocked out. So that could have been a transformer, a station, or something like that too, or electronically. So that'll be interesting to see what comes out there.
James?
Major communication failures, including backup systems. Greece's transportation minister blames it on the cyber attack. get that cyber attack.
Uh-huh.
The shutdown was for several hours, and when guys like Colin from Amalfi Jets is complaining because the power's out and they can't get flights in the air to their dignitaries that they fly around, it's a problem. Um, Flight diversions for two other countries and backlogs left thousands of passengers stranded. This was not a cyber attack. It was likely the U.S. and our allies using electronic warfare. Broad spectrum noise and targeted frequency injection, called spot jamming, was employed. The USA was guarding against any coordination, guidance, or reconnaissance against us. Frequency hopping. These measures can be employed in several ways. The EC-37B airborne aircraft that does jamming, and it takes care of wide areas. It also can be done by vehicle-mounted jammers or artillery jamming. RF wide frequency jamming is nothing new, but it's highly effective.
Yeah, Earl Shannon said that 60 U.S. senators involved in 2020 election fraud with Venezuela. Could this be the beginning of the Brunson case? Brenda over here on TikTok said the same thing. Brunson, I Speak 1717 said, I think it's coming. Well, I think you're right. I think we're going to be seeing quite a bit of revealing here, D-class and exposure. I mean, we're already seeing it by far. Let's see here, Charlie. Oh my God, we already hit 100,000. You guys are awesome. I can't believe we're already at 100,000. Charlie said
big numbers today, Sam. Big numbers.
John Gwynn saying 100,000. You guys are on fire today. Wow. John Gwynn said it could have been from the ground as well. Yeah, absolutely, it could have been. And how much of this are we going to actually know over time? Who knows? Who knows? But the fact is, we're moving in the right direction, and I, for one, am glad to see it. Now, there are some people that are talking about, oh, nice hat, mustache, thank you. Maduro's capture by us was a negotiated exit, and that's what I tend to believe. I think, and this is just my opinion, but I think that he was dealt with some time ago. I think it was during the actual storm back in 18, 19, and 20, because we had Mark Milley up on the COVID response news briefs talking about all of this action that was going against the cartels back in 2020. So did they already get him under submission, and they made this as a rollout to show everybody, oh, we got him? Was he already dealt with? Was he not actually extracted from there until now? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that, but Alex, what do you think?
Well, central casting, I find it interesting. If I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on, everybody.
I didn't think you ever took it off.
So we look at the different photos of Maduro. He was wearing a Nike tracksuit in the first photo that was released, and then the next photo, as he was walking down the hall, he's wearing a completely different. I mean, he's had like 4 or 5 wardrobe changes. I think the hair and makeup needs to get their shit together.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. You know what? I completely forgot about sponsors. Let's do a quick sponsor break.
Go ahead.
Let
me comment on that?
No, you go ahead.
I got a comment.
Sorry.
Well, you can obviously tell that they didn't have anything injected up his third point of contact, because he was walking pretty calm with a smile on his face, doing the high wave, whatever.
Slight limp.
I didn't catch that. Now, you must have caught a different version.
As they're taking him out of the back of the van, and he's saying Happy New Year to people as he's walking down the DEA hall. He's got the DEA agents on both sides, but he does, and coming down the steps of the plane, he was walking with a limp.
Okay.
Interesting.
I was just excited to see him cuffed. That was exciting.
What is your favorite stay? Cuffed
and stuffed.
Exactly. Queen 15 and Martini Time. Thank you for all the gifts. And Robbie Miller, Mary Lise Brown. Gosh, you guys are just lighting us up today. Free to Be Me said, or is some of it AI? Yeah, I think there probably is some AI mixed in there.
There was some AI as well.
Yeah, yes. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Free to Be Me. You guys are on top of this stuff. I just love that about our audience. You guys are well read. They're sure we've got a lot of tinfoil hats, and I'm probably the primary one, but the reality is you guys are well read and you know what's going on. I think that's fantastic. All right, let's do a quick sponsor break. So we have MyPillow. Mike Lindell has sponsored this show from the beginning. Go to mypillow.com, use the discount code SAM, get up to 80% off your purchases, and give Mike some help. He's going to be he's running for governor now in Minnesota. Let's buy some pillows and some blankets and let's get him started. Let's get him moving in the right direction. Secondly, Neil Naturopathic, the only chemical-free, toxin-free hair care products in the market today. Go to neilnaturopathic.com. Use the discount code SAM20, that's SAM20, get 20% off your order. Of course, Dr. Peter Glidden, who is with us every Friday for our health and wellness. Go to samshalhoub.com, click on Dr. Glidden's button. That'll take you to his website. Use the code SAM. You'll get a 30% discount on a website that is chock full of health and wellness information. And of course, Best Line Racing, the best fuel and oil additive, engine additives on the market today. Go to samshalhoub.com, click on the Best Line Racing button, and use the code SAM for your discount. Alex, what about meditation?
Links in my bio. Working on the second book, but I did write a guide. It's a beginner's guide to meditation. Have actually started doing some of the one-on-one with the people that have purchased the book last year. The benefits are limitless. So if you do trust me, thank you. Reach out, check the book, and we'll see if we can't help you get a little bit of peace going on upstairs, especially with all the chaos in the world today.
Very true. Very true. Thank you, Alex. All right. So along this lines of Venezuela and what the heck's going on over there, or what has gone on, or what's going to go on, Maduro and his wife were indicted in the SDNY, the Southern District of New York. Now, Maduro had an indictment already in 2020. Now, I don't know if this new one is a new one, because when you look at the document that has been posted online, there is no dates on it anywhere that I can find. So is this the old indictment? Is this a new indictment? Is there, we have 600,000 sealed indictments right now. And what does one of the Q drops say? The first indictment will verify direction. Well, this is a pretty big deal. Now, I don't know what to make of it all, but Dave, what do you think?
Well, it's interesting. Who would have thought that this was a big piece of the pie, that Venezuela was this corrupt? Obviously, there's rumors of it. Obviously, we had a heck of a force to go in to do it. A lot of can of worms across the board, from voters to corruption in the United States. And I think this is just the tip of the iceberg for sure.
Yeah. James?
Well, Sam, I think this directly plays into what you talked about in the past and even today about we're finding out optically after the fact. A lot of that makes sense. I did the same thing you did about going to look for dates on documents, not available. So, who knows? I mean, I don't know if you've asked AI anything. I tried some of that stuff, and it's about like asking Siri if, she's going to have a pregnancy in the next year. I mean, it's a nothing burger.
Exactly. Alex?
What documents are you looking for that you can't find dates?
It was the indictment that was posted from the DOJ.
I'll work on that.
Yeah.
Tinfoil hats on everybody, but where we're at in the timeline, obviously we're seeing disclosure. We're seeing the corruption brought into the forefront from a financial standpoint. But once we start to see the manipulation, and what is behind all this, right? And the final target, I believe, for 47 is to get us back to a constitutional republic. And the steps that are being taken to cut the money, to bring to light this corrupt system, we're seeing, especially with Venezuela. I mean, this is a global effort to take down that shining light that is the U.S.
Right. David Morales said, is Colombia next? Well, I think Colombia is on deck. I think Mexico is on deck. I think Cuba may be on deck. We'll have to wait and see. I didn't see this. Melissa Flinner said she had a great talk with Alex. She bought Alex's book and she met with Alex. So everybody get Alex's book. It's well worth it.
I wasn't going to say her name, but thank you, Melissa.
No, she put it in there.
I know. No, that's when I said I had started doing some. We did this weekend, and she is absolutely salt of the earth good people. Thank you.
Everyone here is just wonderful. NC Patriot said, yes, Dave. I'm not sure what he's referring to, but Dana Mackey said maybe he'll turn state's evidence. I think he already did. I think he's already sung like a bird, just like I think Epstein sang like a bird, just like Diddy sang like a bird, just like Ghislaine Maxwell sang like a bird. Now we haven't seen it come out in the narrative yet, but I think it's coming. Dewey said the first of many to come, 100%. Benji 1959 said right with a whole bunch of exclamation points. Bob said try Grok. Yeah, I use Grok often. I use Grok, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini. I use all four, and I just like to get a sampling of all of them. All right. Dobermom 79 said Greenland, maybe. That's a whole other story that we're going to deal with tomorrow on tomorrow's show. But yes, well, I have some information on that. Let's see here. Oh, Brenda said he did. They know who was paid. Not sure exactly what you mean.
Maybe the senators.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And NC Patriot said, sorry, I meant Sam. I was doing yoga and I'm a lady. Oh, I'm so sorry, NC Patriot. I had no idea you were a woman, but my apologies. Well, welcome. Oh, well, it's kind of hard to know with some of these usernames. I just don't know, but thank you for correcting me. Bob said, Sam, same, they work well. Yeah, I agree. Getting a sampling across is absolutely important. So President Trump said the U.S. is now going to be very strongly involved in Venezuela's oil industry in the wake of the regime change. Now, I had done a couple of different posts, but I mentioned a couple of different things. One of them was the Kobayashi letter, and they talked about what the value of the Venezuelan oil. And they said that Venezuela currently has 303 billion barrels of crude oil reserves, which Trump said we now control. Oil prices are trading at $57 a barrel, making Venezuela's total reserves worth $17.3 trillion. Now, that's a big number. And now we control it. Alex, what do you make of it?
Again, I went through the list of what's happened over the last 25, 26 years over there. They are in the hemisphere with us, and we can't have. I mean, this is all about national security when it boils down to it. Security in elections, security in our natural resources, security in our hemispheres. Go back to the Cuban Missile Crisis. Some of us are old enough to remember the details of that. We can't have this stuff going on in our backyard. I think if you look at the Ukraine-Russia war, that's where Ukraine's upset. This stuff is going on in their backyard. This is a worldwide rollout to end the deep state's control and their ability to facilitate things that we don't want, right? We just want peace. We want to be left alone. I think everybody in the world wants that. When you see the overwhelming reactions of the Venezuelan people to Maduro being removed, and I mean, there was a lady in the United States that was interviewed, and she was just bawling with just joy that she could return home. Like, receipts.
It's a big deal.
It's
a big deal. James?
So one thing that a lot of people seem to forget, when we go into a military action like we did in Venezuela to take Maduro out, we always repair what we ruin. And that's true in Vietnam. That's true in all the places that we've ever gone and done destruction. The United States is going to recruit U.S. companies to invest billions to refurbish Venezuela's gutted oil industry. And you're right, it was 303 billion barrels in reserve, and that's about 1/5 of the world's global supply in reserve. Iran is number 3 in reserve, so keep that in mind, Alex, when you think about who's next on the list. Iraq is number 4 at 145 billion in reserve. With a revamp, it would lead to cheaper prices for the entire world. Venezuela has not had a pipeline update for 50 years. So if the United States goes in, overhauls it, and refigures their entire system for them, which I know we're going to do, and I don't know what oil company it's going to be, whether it's Halliburton or ExxonMobil. Who knows? But in today, Venezuela produces 1 billion barrels. Before Chavez and Maduro took over the regime, they were producing 3.5 billion a day. So they were either stealing that money or all that oil, or they just simply let it go to shit and they weren't even producing
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Dave?
Went downhill. Supplies, blockades on them and stuff like that. But there was a lady from Venezuela saying we were so rich when we were selling our oil to the U.S. That's because the money went back to the Venezuelans, and that's what Trump's going to say. We're going to go back there and make Venezuela great again,
Right.
plain and simple across the board. And as important as it for us to get the oil, it's probably more important that China doesn't get it.
Yeah. Well, I think there's probably
most important that the Venezuelan people get the benefit
Money.
of their own resources, right?
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
he said that from the get-go. Like it's time to stop the communist dictator that was Maduro. So
yeah.
I mean, this is
100%.
the streets. This is the streets behind us.
Yep,
So
exactly.
They're celebrating.
Exactly. Lace and Steel, Barb 7599, Sue B. Oh my gosh, everybody lighting us up. Thank you for the gifts.
That's a picture of a peaceful protest, a real peaceful protest.
Yeah.
Where nothing's burning, no looting. Anyway,
Yeah.
Not even a hot dog.
right.
R. Young said, people think we took him only for the oil, but we can't have China at our back door. I think that's a good point. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
100% it.
It's kind of the Bay of Pigs all over again, right?
Melissa Flinter said maybe they should go back to Venezuela. Well, as long as they're here legally, I'm all for immigration, as long as it's legal immigration. My grandparents came here legally. All right, so let's see here. Concerning this whole thing with Maduro and the Venezuela operation, isn't it interesting that Elon said, I'm coming for you, Maduro. I will carry you to Gitmo on a donkey. And he has been posting this, that he had said that months ago. And now all of a sudden it happens. Dave?
Well, in my opinion, it's going to be the title fight after the USC fight on June 14th at the White House.
Exactly.
Elon, it's going to be fun.
Exactly. James?
You know, I think it was a prime opportunity for Elon to get a little flex in there. You know, ex-Doge guy. You know, he wanted to pump his arms up a little bit, and I think that's kind of it was all. I don't know, what do you, not nefarious. It was just it was a cheap shot, and he got it in.
Yeah, exactly. Alex?
I'm just curious if any of the military vehicles that were used in the raid were somehow dubbed or nicknamed Donkey.
Yeah. Oh, could be. And also, too.
I'm looking.
Oh, and also Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, he came out and said that Maduro effed around and found out. I mean, he's such a badass. Him and Tom Homan and President Trump. You don't mess with those guys. I mean, come on. How many times do you have to see it before they're going to get it?
Pete says if Trump says it, he means it. End of discussion.
Exactly.
And you know, one other thing that was kind of cool when you watched the talk about it, Hegseth didn't say General Dan Kane. He said Raising Kane has some words. He didn't even call him a general. I mean, now it's down to Raising Kane, and you know he means business.
Yeah, 100%.
It's all business.
They all do. Trump learned in his first term who he could trust and who he couldn't. He wasn't going to make the same mistake again. All right, so let's see. Moving on. So we've got all this stuff going on with Venezuela over here and Colombia and Mexico and everything. Now we have, according to the Defender of the Republic, and she's a great asset. If you guys go follow Defender of the Republic over on X, Iran protests have spread nationwide with chants calling for regime change. Security forces are responding with live fire, unaliving at least 7 protesters so far. And apparently it's over 30 cities in Iran that are protesting the current regime there. Dave, what do you make of it?
As of today, my research showed 222 locations and 78 cities across 26 provinces across it. So it's expanding. And it sounds like if it gets too crazy, that who's the leader of Iran?
The Shah, right?
He's already got a flight to Russia, is what the rumor is.
Yeah. Ayatollah, I guess, would be who
Yep.
it is. I don't know.
Ayatollah
Yep.
Khomeini.
Yeah.
Yep.
James?
Well, it's really interesting when we have demonstrated what a takeover is really all about. The United States is now being sorry about that. Had a phone call. The United States is now being called on the world to help upright other problems. And this falls on the heels of what we said earlier about we're going to not be in everybody's business. And now they're calling for us to help. Iran's calling for a reason. And just remember, they have a respectable amount of oil in reserves. And if they're number three at 209 billion barrels in reserve, if all of a sudden they can be uprighted, their money used for oil is and minerals are respected the way they should be and used like they're supposed to be, we can obviously help Iran too, but that does come at an expense.
Right, exactly. And
It's going to be the same thing. It's 40% inflation going over there. They're cutting their money off by not allowing the oil to go out. So then they're going to allow the people to take it over, and it's going to be the same thing in Cuba. It's going to happen the same exact way.
They have 70% in food inflation alone.
Yeah.
Yep. They just can't afford it. Their severe economic hardship, inflation, and currency collapse to boot. So that plays into it too. The broad anti-government demonstrates clashes, arrests, and casualties because security forces over there use force.
Yeah. Dobermom 79 said, "Happy Independence Day, Venezuela." Exactly. And is Iran next on deck? Well, it could very well be. Kathleen Garcia said, when we were talking about the badasses in the government, Kathleen Garcia said, "Tulsi is no wuss either." 100%. She's really attractive too. Let's see. So
Squirrel.
But squirrel. Exactly.
Sam, can I say something here? Mojo Cat 01 on my live says, you all think that the U.S. should run the world. Absolutely not. But when we're called on to help a society that's begging in a crisis situation, I think it's very noble of the United States to respond if we can. And obviously, we have the military might to upright a lot of situations, which we just demonstrated.
Well, responding in the way that we are currently responding, not in the way that we have responded in the past.
100%.
Right?
Correct.
It's whether whether it's a benevolent or a malevolent approach, and I believe it's a benevolent approach.
Well, it's a January of justice. We're witnessing the deep state's death rattle right around the world. It is coming to fruition. Trafficking, money laundering, the seizing of assets from the people. This is catching fire, folks. I think that over the course of the next 3 months, we are going to watch historic events. Keep your head on a swivel.
Well, and it's so Lisa Marie said, "No one is more smoking hot than Pete Hegseth." Oh my gosh, Lisa Maria coming out swinging. Oh, cognitive dissonance.
Actually, James was saying the same thing last night about
Dude, really?
I'm not. Well, not you.
No.
No.
Cognitive dissonance said XRP and silver are on a rocket. Well, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of rockets in a lot of areas. Well, concerning Iran, President Trump came out and said, if Iran shoots and violently kills peaceful protesters with their custom, the United States of America will come to their rescue. We are locked and loaded and ready to go. Thank you for your attention to this matter. James?
We just answered the question I previously talked about.
Yeah, exactly. Dave?
It's coming. It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out for sure.
100%. Alex?
Well, I find it interesting that he's going to go to the public forum and he's going to just the man doesn't say things just to say things. What have I said multiple times? He does not, pass gas without planning 10 minutes ahead of time who he's going to crop dust. When we look at the history of the United States and specifically Iran, I mean, recognition for them began back in 1850 and the 1800s. This is not something new. During the Cold War, the CIA and MI6 in the 50s, go look up Operation Ajax. This is not something new. We're not meddling in places that we're not supposed to be. In 79, the Islamic Revolution and the hostage crisis that, most of us were alive to witness, 444 days of the embassy in Tehran. You get into the 80s and the 90s and the things like that. This just continues to escalate. And I think that we now have somebody in place that is not corruptible. He's already a billionaire. He doesn't need the money. I think his ego wants the recognition for fixing this, obviously, right? That's what the man is. He's got a great big ego because he's a deal maker, the art of the deal. And he's going to come in and he's going to clean it up and he's going to shine the light on it. And when we're done, Exterminator Trump is going to remove the cockroaches from the system and the world. We're definitely witnessing things that the history books 100 years from now are going to be written about.
Right. And I think, and it's important to note that it's not just President Trump. He's the figurehead. It's the military. And I believe they're all working together, every country, every major country in the world, to get the deep state out of their particular countries. Russia, Russia first. China, China first. America, America first, and so on and so forth. And that's the way it should be, in my opinion. Now we have Kathleen Garcia, Dobermom 79, NC Patriot are all agreeing with Lisa Maria that Pete Hegseth is smoking hot. Exactly, girls. Slow down there, girls. Pump the brakes.
Jess the mess from Texas on my chat said, nope, JD Vance is hotter with the blue eyes.
All right. Well, we got a lot of good-looking men in there, and women for that matter. Lisa Steele said, all the ladies agreeing with Lisa Maria. Isn't that the truth? Oh, you guys.
So what's the technique on that deal? You just got to wear skinny pants and puff your chest out? What's the story on that, Lisa?
I think you could probably do more push-ups than all of us. Maybe not Sam. I don't know.
Yeah,
James, that's no skinny pants for you, James, please.
I'd certainly give him a run, that's for sure. Oh, that's funny. All right, so moving on to the last story. So the airspace over Greece completely closed yesterday amid what they're calling a failure of all communication systems. Now, Greece, I didn't expect that coming from Greece. Greenland on deck. I mean, there's a lot going on here. What do you think, Dave?
And it well could be. Again, that's one of those you put on the back burner and just keep your eyes open for it, because it'll show its head eventually, and it'll show the direction of what is happening in the world. For
Yeah,
sure.
and Earl Shannon over on YouTube said Canada could be on the radar. 100%. I think it's already done, but that's just my opinion. James?
I agree with all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. I mean, that whole thing with Greece, the U.S. is just protecting itself. I mean, you have to understand that when we do a military operation to that size and have that many assets in, we didn't lose one person. And they might have got bruised, and they might have bruised Cecilia's ribs or whatever when they had to tackle her, or maybe the steel door hit her in the ass. Who knows?
Yeah. Jan loving me and Grandma said, yes, Jess, Vance is a cutie. Exactly. Wildlife fan said they poked the bear and woke up Gen X. I think there's a lot of truth to that. Alex, what do you make of this whole Greenland or Greece thing?
What is it? The 72-hour rule,
Yeah.
right? We've got to
Very good point.
we've got to sit on it, because in the speed that information travels in these days, it takes a couple days for the BS to settle to the bottom so that we can see what's really going on. So very, very interesting times for sure.
Oh yeah, buckle up, baby. As they said on the report, keep your head on a swivel because it's gonna get good, even better than it is. All right, so that's all we have for today. It was a great show. We are at 172,000 likes. You guys are awesome.
You need to add the 15,000 likes from my live.
Oh, okay.
12,300 for mine.
Wow.
12,300.
And I'm bringing up the tail at 4,200.
Wow, that's that's almost 200,000 likes, you guys. That's incredible.
Sam, at the peak on mine, I had 178 people in my live.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, well, so far this looks like it seems like everybody seems to like this new format, so I'm pretty stoked with it. But before we get to what?
Alex says no. He laughing.
No. I have someone in my chat that's telling me that just wait until we lose our Second Amendment right I responded with, given the current DOJ position and SCOTUS decisions, not likely. And his response was, let's see you go up against the Canadian Royal Air Force. Get the hell out of here.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, thank you for stopping by. See
Right.
the door.
They'd
Bye-bye.
have to put their purse down first before they started fighting.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. All right, so
I can fight off snowballs.
exactly. All right, before we I want to do
Oh my
some
goodness.
honorable mentions here. Layson Steele, Charlie, Angela Akers, Wildlife Fan, John Gwynn, Jan Lovin being Grandma, Martini Time, Johnny B, Towie Bixby, Melissa Flinner, Top Crop TV, Wendy, Kevin Kiesler, Brian Dellett, Ruby, PJ Party, Pure Blood Holly Johns, Dobermom 79, Dana Mackey, Benji 1959 Hits, and Chris Romano, and the list goes on. Thank you all for all the gifts. What an absolute blessing. Now, I'm going to sign off over on X, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble, because we can't play the YMCA while that's still live. But we will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Hope you can join us over there.